Byron, you came out with a column that is absolutely excellent, and it's entitled 12 Times Christopher Steele Fed Trump-Russia Allegations to the FBI After the Election. After the election. So in other words, the FBI had fired Christopher Steele for lying, the author of the anti-Trump dossier, which they nevertheless used to spy and wiretap. But even after the election, he's still feeding them information about Trump?
Yes, this is a very shady arrangement. You're right, they had a deal with Christopher Steele. He was an informant for them. They were going to pay him to keep up his dossier work for the FBI, which is kind of amazing right there. But part of the deal is, if you're a confidential human source for the FBI, you don't go tell everything you know to the press. That's not part of the deal. And of course, Christopher Steele was desperate to get this dossier stuff into the press, out in the open in October of 2016.
To damage Trump, because he was, quote-unquote, desperate to stop Trump. That's what he told the DOJ.
Exactly. So it could affect the election and stop Trump. So the FBI has to cut him off as a source. So you would think that that would be that, but it was not. What happened was they came up with a back channel method of staying in touch with Christopher Steele. The method was Christopher Steele would talk to Bruce Ohr, who was the fourth-ranking official in the Obama Justice Department, happened to be married to Nellie Ohr, a woman who worked for Fusion GPS. Seems like everything's connected here. He would talk to Bruce Ohr, and then Bruce Ohr would pass on that information to the FBI. So the FBI simply used a cutout to stay in contact with Christopher Steele.
They were clever and devious about it. Let me ask you this. Did the FBI continue to work with Christopher Steele after the election? Because, quite simply, they wanted to undo the election results and destroy Trump.
Well, if you look at it, there were a dozen meetings between the FBI and Bruce Ohr, and the purpose of those meetings was to have Bruce Ohr pass on to the FBI what he had been told by Christopher Steele, starting on November 22nd, a couple of weeks after the election, going all the way to May 2017. And there's a couple of reasons. One, the FBI was looking for new information, apparently still trying to pursue this Trump-Russia thing, and two, they were trying to get some sort of confirmation for the dossier allegations that Steele had given them and that they had used in a FISA court to get a warrant against Carter Page.
Right.
So it's kind of, once they were out on the limb, they were trying to find out, gee, is this stuff true?
In the FBI regulations, it says you may not use unverified information to gain a warrant in a FISA court. They did it anyway, and so here they are trying to, after the election, after they've used the dossier, they're trying to verify it, knowing full well they never did, and they totally violated regulations. We'll have to leave it at that, but I recommend to viewers read Byron York's excellent column. It's entitled 12 Times Christopher Steele Fed Trump-Russia Allegations to FBI After the Election. Great reporting, as usual. Thank you, Byron York.
Thank you, Greg.
New reports tonight that a